Welcome to Scoolinary, the online cooking school that transforms people and connects cultures. You will learn with the best chefs in the industry, and you will discover the broadest online catalog of topics related to gastronomy. We publish new courses every week. In our podcast, we have coffee with a chef every week. Each of them will tell us about their experience and their vision for the culinary world to help you better understand this exciting industry. Come on, join us for coffee. Today we are with Intu-On Kornnawong, chef partner at Joe's Modern Thai in Oakland, California. A graduate of the French Culinary Institute, now the International Culinary Center, she has sharpened her talents in professional kitchens from San Francisco to Los Angeles and back again. Both in her restaurant and through her Scoolinary course called Thai Cuisine, she has skillfully adapted the fresh, distinctive flavors of her native Thailand to the seasonal bounty of California to create her own style that's traditional, fresh, and modern all at once. Hi, Intu-On. Welcome and thanks for joining us for coffee. Before we begin, do you drink coffee?
Oh, I do. I'm drinking right now. I do every day in the morning.
Oh, how do you take your coffee?
So how?
Yeah, what do you
how-
put in your coffee?
Oh, okay. So I love to like brew my coffee every morning. Sometimes I have like an espresso
Yep.
machines, or I have like a coffee maker at home. I always do that. But sometimes I was lazy. I always stop by the coffee shop in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
well,
I need
uh,
I need
yeah, go
one,
ahead.
1 or 2 per day. So actually.
Well, the coffee there in the Bay Area where you are, it's pretty good. It's very competitive, so it raises the quality. So you're
Mhm.
lucky. Can you tell us in your own words who you are and where you're from?
Okay, so I'm just like, a little girl who's just born and raised in Thailand. So my family, and then I born and raised in northeastern of Thailand. It's it's a little small town, it's close to like the capital of Laos. It just take like 30-minute drive to there. So I born and raised there, and then I went to college in Bangkok, and after that I was immigrant and moved over here in the state when
Hmm.
it was 2006. Yeah, the first time I'm just like moved over here for the school. Yeah,
Okay.
I was be exchange students back then, and then I think I was like 17. Yeah. So, and then I moved back to Thailand, finished my college,
Hmm.
and so I was went to environmental science school, a school in Bangkok, and then I was work just like a year. Yeah, I actually want to move here when it was like high school, and then my mom was like, okay, you should continue college a little bit, and
Hmm.
finish that bachelor degree, whatever. And then I decided to move back here when I think another 3 year after that.
Yeah.
So um so I was thought about I'm just gonna continue, my majors as environmental scientist, and I
Hmm.
used to be environmental consulting before, like after I graduated from school for like from college for like a year, I think like
Yeah.
university, and then I just was changing my mind. So when I was here, I just start like I went to like ESL school, try to like practice my English a little bit, and then like from the international student back then, you
Yeah.
need to like take the courses and get into the college here. So I was thought about that and continued my majors to be master degree. And then I told my parent was like, oh, I think I gonna change my mind, like I don't know what I want to do, like as Asian kids growing up.
Yeah.
So like my parents always like, oh, you need to be a doctor, you need to be this, or something that make good money, right? but
Right.
uh, but I told them like, so I like cooking. I was thinking like what I should do, and then So the thing was that growing up with my parents and my aunt who loved to cook all the time. So, and then I loved to watch like American show when I was a kid, like try to do like cooking recipe, burger, pizza, whatever, like how's the thing. I was like, okay, maybe I should go to cooking school to learn different cuisine, not just like Thai that I just cook from like my memorize and learn from my family, and then I
Yeah.
I just decide to go to Queen School, French Culinary Institute for like a year and a half, and then after that, I just like like work with many like pretty much many restaurants in the city like San Francisco. So as a light cook, learn different cuisine, but most of cuisine that I love the most
Yeah.
when I was with the kitchen is Californian cuisine to me. So
Okay.
I
Hmm.
think that's how I become to be a professional chef. After that, and so between that, I just like when I went to school, I just like went, like do stashes, some like Thai restaurants, and I have some uncle that I know here. He teach me a lot about like Thai cookings, do things on walk. Yeah, and between that, I just think like okay, I should go back to my root and
Okay.
bring all the thing like Californian things with my root that I growing up with, and try to do things together. And then was lucky me like so when I moved to LA and I worked with a chef like Jeremy Fox, like
Hmm.
do Californian cuisine thing. And then one day I have a chef, his name Chris Yen Mamrong. He
Hmm.
was kind of, you know, take like a new generation Thai and do some fun Thai thing. And then he was hiring the first sous chef because he just run the business by his family as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, and he never have a sous chef. He never have like a real recipe book,
Oh,
but because he have like auntie, uncle, parents, grandma, like always cooking from the heart, right? Like,
yeah.
whatever he knows. And then how he ran that.
You came along and you had professional training. You
Mm-hmm.
had the education, and so it seemed like a really good fit. And you also really wanted to get back to your Thai roots and sort of elevate. It seems like a really good combination that you had for
Yeah,
us. Hmm.
I think just that, and when I had interview with him, he seemed really exciting about. But I didn't have a lot of experience as managing. That's the first job I got as the manager and the
Oh.
sous chef person, and then but I think I have like something in some sauce. Before that, I used to do like something for fun at consulting and help people to create the menu stuff like that.
Hmm.
So and then I was like okay, interesting. And then I helped him write the recipe, I mean after he did the cookbook already, but
Hmm.
he doesn't have that thing to the restaurants,
Huh.
to
Yeah.
to make things like more system and compromise and make it like anyone can do it. And then I help him write that up, and then we work that all together.
Yeah.
So it become like after that they have a book, like every time when they make things is kind of pretty consistent after that. So I think that's kind of thing because I've been working with some of uncle that I know is like in the kitchen they just like they know the recipe, but every single person is gonna do follow them. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's inconsistent, because they don't have the exact number that they should do it right. But
So
between yeah.
yeah, you brought so yeah, you kind of brought the skill where you could guide the process of cooking in a really structured and organized way, and
Mm-hmm,
then also do all those things like scale up and scale
hmm.
down,
Right.
do the math, the fractional math that's so
Mhm.
necessary when you're cooking for a different crowd every single night.
Yeah, I just feel like like when you go eat out like Thai
Yeah.
restaurants in the US or when wherever, right? It's like mom and pop. Someday you go and say, "Oh, so good." and another day you go, it's not the same, you can
Yeah.
you can feel that, that's the thing. And that's how I just kind of like fall in love after to do development and things. And yeah, and then that how I just back to do things at my road it should be. So and then I moved back to San Francisco after that, so working like with a chef that who really knowledgeable and very good mentor to myself, like him at Kin Cow or Nari right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is, but I that my goal is like I want to know how people to do thing elevate, and any cook that don't need to be Thai person
Hmm.
can
Hmm.
do it as well. That's the thing. So yeah, I work with her a little bit, and it's kind of pandemic was happened back then,
Yeah.
and then I just everyone's kind of get laid off, all
Yeah.
that time like work a little bit, we not really get laid off, but I just decide to like, okay, I'm not gonna continue, and I start to do my pop-up, yeah, and see like twice a week. Yeah,
Oh,
I
right.
did about couple years, yeah, before I opened it restaurants.
So you worked all the way through the pandemic, and you've established a name for yourself in the Bay Area, and
Yes.
you've we were speaking about this earlier. People are finding you and asking you to do special events and occasions and things like that. So not too long ago, you participated in Oakland's Taste of Style by
Hmm.
creating a dish inspired by the Italian fashion house Missoni, which is distinguished by bold patterns and colors. And your dish, from what I saw on Instagram, is
Hmm.
incredible. I mean, it looks incredible. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the dish you created.
So the dish that I would create, it's the dish I always love to eat, and also I think during pandemic, I'm try to make that dish as well, and then cater for some people. So and then I have a really good feedback about, and then
Hmm.
when these events came up, so this event I think they are the other thing with donations to Gembet Foundations. So and then a very good thing that Visit Auckland wanna do, like they thinking about the fashions, and then we did the white elephants about that, and then when I get the Missoni, you know, in
Hmm.
my head was come up with that dish already. So I was thinking like I need to do the noodles with the
Oh,
colorful as the Missoni. So and then what thinking about that dish, because it's traditional way on that dish. So it's the noodle is white, and then everything is kind of white and green with cilantros, and then I'm kind of like, okay, why don't if I do as a Missoni, styles and
yeah.
color, I think would be fun, and then you can add other like seasonal fruit and a green color from like cilantro oil or whatever. I think that's become inspire myself, and then it's the dish that can call as a loyal Thai. When you open the ancients cookbook to do that,
Hmm.
that's the dish that really really inspired myself, and I love the flavors a lot. Plus like like summer and autumn's coming in, I think that make me to start for that dish right away. So yeah, that's how I become
Yeah, it was gorgeous. I think you really nailed it. The Missoni theme in that dish, it was
oh,
beautiful.
thank you.
So, is there a specific regional dish that comes from your part of Thailand that you
Mm.
particularly like?
So I would say it mostly is from my root, right? Some dishes from my the part that I'm coming from. But most of dishes that I created, even I'm created is my restaurants, is all about the childhood dishes. It's like, so I growing up eat this with my aunt. I have some family from Bangkok in my mom's side, and my parents always took us, me and my sister, like traveling, like like across the province, when the
Hmm.
summer times or something, went to the beach, or go to the north, Chiang Mai, whatever. It's just about the memorizing. Or and most of part, my aunt loved to cook, and she cook any regions. I growing up eat anything, so I think that's how it inspired me to create the dish all the time. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
and
okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and plus I'm here in the US. Like what ingredient I can get from like Californians is like easy to grow some vegetables. So I think that how I was creative that and think about how like Thai Americans kid was growing up eating as well.
Oh, yeah.
That yeah,
Okay.
that how I was kind of collaboration like all that stuff together to create all the dishes at my restaurant or any events that I'm doing.
Right. And your restaurant, which I said earlier, Joe's Modern Thai in Oakland,
Mhm.
combines fresh local ingredients with Thai flavors and the techniques of Thai cooking. Was it easy to adapt your recipes to the available ingredients while staying true to authentic Thai flavors?
Um, I was I'm working, so I would say it's pretty easy. But but if you expecting that, like the crowd different, right? The weather is a little different, but some a little favor or something that couldn't, you couldn't find here. I'm just kind of adapt something that have the same flavor and texture.
Hmm.
So, I think that how not I would say it's kind of pretty easy, and also I'm working with the farmers
Ah,
who
okay,
will
yeah.
grow all the Asian vegetable for us at the restaurants.
Hmm.
They're from Fresno's, Southern California's,
Hmm.
and the weather and things there was easier to grow the vegetable as like when you grow something in Thailand. Yeah, something that I just give them like, okay, I want cilantro have root, and then they so amazing, they can do that for us like the whole year. Eventually, like it was so hard to like another, if you grow in northern California, it was kind of hard to get all that stuff for the whole year. I
Yeah.
think I think they're very incredible, and then the root that they make was so amazing and like young and nice, and also any eggplants thing like for like I don't know what to say like now. They grow like Thai eggplant and pea eggplant, which is so hard to find over here, but they can
Oh,
do it very special. So I think that how I love to working with. I think that I just found like the right farmer that can help us grow all that stuff that we really want for the restaurants.
yeah. So where is it that you source your chilies? I feel like chilies are very important ingredient in Thai cooking, and I think
Yeah,
that the variety of chilies that you can find in Thai cooking, they might be difficult. Well, they're certainly difficult for people who are in other parts of the United States to find.
yeah.
How are you finding and sourcing your chilies there in California?
So yeah, most of the farmers, I have some farmer that so we got like I went to a ferry building. It's some of farmers. It's a only farmer that I'm working with from Fresno. They can
Hmm.
grow that too, so it's kind of pretty easy. I think it's for some seasonals that like you cannot grow that anymore. So I think some of company here was kind of get that import, but most of part all the farmer can grow that for the whole years.
Oh,
Yeah, but
nice.
some typical chili, not like Thai bird eye chili, for example,
Hmm.
another Thai was kind of hard to growing up here. You couldn't
Huh.
find. Yeah, when you make like a Thai radish or namprik things. So there's some of chili that you can see in Thailand, which is so hard to do it here. So you couldn't find it, but I just kind of looking for something else, substitute like maybe Anaheim, Serranos, or something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Thai bird eye chili is it seemed like the farmer here can did that for the whole year. Yeah.
Oh, that's good because I think if you're using something that's a substitute, it would be a substitute, but it's not quite
Mm-hmm.
100% the flavor that you're after if you're looking for something that's really
Yeah.
authentic and original. So
Hmm.
now we've spoken a little bit about you've been in professional kitchens for a while now.
Hmm.
How do you transform a kitchen into a successful business? You've had a few successes. What would you say are the current main challenges for chefs who want to open their own restaurant?
So, okay, I think for myself, it's about, cooking part is hard, but if you can make structure system, be there. And then I love to train my staff to like tasting the food, even the recipe correct. But for like Thai cuisine or something, sometime like I would say, for example, like when the fish sauce change, right? Sometimes the way they produce, every time tastes not the same. And sometimes we do palm sugar, we reduce too much and flavor is not the same. I
Yeah.
think it's about how to train people to be that. And also to make a successful restaurant, to me, is about managing the people.
Hmm.
So, so how you make the structure at the restaurant and make everyone happy. And
Yeah.
that I think that the hardest part to me, I mean, beside cooking side. but
Yeah.
um but if we do that structures and you have recipe and you have a goal for your restaurants, things ready, and I don't think it's hard to make that successful. And then also, like, you need to keep like let them involve to you as well to create something, not
Oh,
just like
right.
yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that how to keep people work for you longer, and also, um I think that, and make people, want to be here and want to challenge themselves as well, and see, and you can see like what they are good at. Everyone
Hmm.
not good at everything, but if you know and then you can manage them well, I think that can help the business can be grows as well, and successful. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's a part of staying competitive in your area? It's interesting because it's not necessarily. I think if I heard you correctly, it's not necessarily the cooking or the food, but engaging the people that you're working with and the people that are working for you to
Hmm.
be responsible and take pride in what they do and be a little bit autonomous too, and then they feel like they're contributing something to the restaurant and they're more likely and they feel valued, and so ultimately the food is going to reflect uh, how well the restaurant is run, and actually that yeah is that is that how you stay competitive in your area of the industry?
Yeah, I would say it's in Oakland, the where we are right now. It's a lot of Thai restaurant, but mostly like, not like Thai like innovations thing.
Hmm.
I would say it's not a lot competitive around here, but in the Bay Area, I would say yes. Yeah, we have a lot of customer like drive far away, from
Hmm.
like South Bay, North Bay, and come over and what to make you different and unique, and why it's worth to try to eat at your restaurant. So we have a very nice neighbor here. They always come and support. That how I really like East Space a lot.
Yeah.
So, but in between, so we can target the people that to drive from far away, and at least they come once a month, drive an hour. So I think that I think I think that how I doing about that. We just keep things like unique, creative
Hmm.
all the time, and everything needs to be consistency. Every time they come need to be the same. So, and the way we train our staff too, like even in the kitchens, and just empower them like front of the house, how we make people feel welcome when you come in the restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that how make us to like, stay in the business and keep things successful and can grow and grow, more
Yeah.
for and I'm sure that is how we can keep things, and we feel like we pretty special that people want to come for. So yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, many of your diners, the ones who go there frequently, and people who might go there for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
they may recognize a few menu items
Mm-hmm.
at Joe's. There's one dish called Crying Tiger. I was wondering if you could
Mm-hmm.
tell us what that is and what's the story behind the name.
Oh, okay. The crying tiger. So I mean, the dish that like in my root, like northeastern of Thailand. So we growing up eat this thing with sticky rice, and then it's just like a whole steak that you grill. You marinate it and you grill it, and then we call crying tiger because like things about when you grill the meat with the fat, and the fat was come up and touch the fires.
Yeah.
It seemed like something crying. That how we think about crying tiger.
Yeah.
So it's kind of common names, that in Thailand called Sura Rong Hai. Sura is mean like tiger. Rong Hai
Hmm.
is mean crying.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool name that people remember that. And so we kind of have that dish at the beginnings, and we serve in a bite instead of we serve like a whole steak,
Hmm.
and, with sauce on the side something. And then now I'm just create the new thing that okay remind me when I was a kid and how people eat this. People eat with sticky rice and eat all together, but we just make it like more, a little more like twists and innovations a little bit, like
Yeah.
how you make it easier to eat, right? And then it tastes great too, like just think about put things on the leaf. And I love chisel flavors a lot.
Hmm.
So, and have a little bite of sticky rice and the grilled meat that we work with the farmer as well, how they grow, like all the cows and beef is super nice and tender, so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, and then we just like, and then we make the typical sauce that from my hometown. So it's called jiao, but it
Hmm.
jiao is mean like the the radish or the sauce, right? But they
Mm.
have a different type of jiao, and now we're doing like tomato things, and we just put on the top and eat everything, eat all together. Yeah,
Ah,
and yeah, I think
can you
that
make different styles of jiao based on the season?
correct. Yes,
Okay.
we doing it here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So your Scoolinary course, as I mentioned earlier, is called Thai cuisine, and it
Mm-hmm.
features dishes from your childhood. For those of us who are home cooks, what's a good recipe to start with?
I would say, you know, I think the papaya salad that
Hmm.
they're always my favorite things that I growing up eating, as like Isan and not Eastern Thai people. So this is growing up eat, even like right now papaya salad is so popular in any regions.
Yeah.
People can eat that every day as snack, or even with sticky rice. And you can eat with the crying tiger as well, or any grilled chickens. It's
Hmm.
kind of a meal that you eat for lunch, right? Or
Yeah.
some people just eat papaya salad by itself as snack. And the other thing, that easy thing that every single family growing up eating as a kid
Hmm.
was the fried omelet, the
Oh,
Thai
yeah.
fried omelet. Yeah, I think that the easy thing that you learn from Thai cookings, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just that. And then another one I think everyone knows, as a Thai dish was pad kapao. Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, stir fries, holy basils.
Yeah, that was a nice one to make when when I scheduled this a little while ago. So that was, yeah, I plan on returning to that one. It was delicious. So thanks for that.
Mhm.
How do you think? So we've been through your history, and you've seen from the inside of the culinary world. How do you think cooking has evolved in the past few years?
I would think about fine dining,
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it was just a lot right before pandemic. It's kind of a
Yeah.
trend back then to me.
Hmm.
But I always think. and then some sort of like like very fat casual things during pandemic. It's kind of thing that a lot of people doing it because people kind of like eating at home, like you're doing the courses, cooking at home, or
Yeah.
like you're doing takeout.
Mm-hmm.
That's some sorts of thing, but for, I would say, the current trend right now, I don't know what's the trend right now, but I'm just kind of like people, try to go back to do fine dinings again, but for myself. So I like to do thing that between that. So, not like
Mm-hmm.
too elevate and not too casual to me. It's kind
Right.
of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that people can eat every day, right? And even like when you do thing that you thought is need to be fast, like fat casual thing, but the way like you plating, the way you execute, is need to be like nice and neat before you send it to people. And I think that's the thing. It can be the current trend right now to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but in between, and I think it can be like thing that people can come for like all the time. It's not
Yeah.
gonna be like, oh, the trend's gonna be out in the few years, or
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Yeah, that one I'm kind of thing.
So, given what you just said right now, how do you think the identity of the chef has evolved in the past few years, actually?
Mm, what do you mean, like identity?
Oh, identity. Like the chef, I mean, since the pandemic and what you just said, kind of fine dining may be coming back slowly, but there's fast casual, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's kind of mid fine dining, and the chef has had to adapt to that kind of trend. How do you think the profile of the chef has grown in the last few years?
I think with grow, so um, you know, it's about, I don't know, it's about like what the world's right now, right? It's kind of thing that it's a good thing that the chef would learn it. Like we never thought about, for example, like when we was in a pandemic, we never thought about we're gonna do a thing for takeout. But
Yeah.
it's just we need to think like how to make people feel, because restaurant need to be alive, right? But some people doesn't want to do it, but in my perspective and opinion, like how to do things to cater to people, and they can come and they can enjoy that all the time. It's just it's just the mindset things or the trend in currently, I think. So if anything happen, I think you need to be adapt on that to make
Mm-hmm.
the business successful as well, and then make the people feel that okay, so they can come for, not just like okay, when things happen, I don't know what's gonna happen again. It's me need to close restaurant, need to close your business, it just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah.
Yeah. So, in all the people that you've met in your career,
Mhm.
who else would you recommend for a future episode of this podcast related to the culinary world?
Hmm. So I have some friends,
Yeah,
a friend that she was so amazing, so incredible as a chef, as a Cambodian.
yeah,
I think that would be good as well. Not a lot of people to like do a Cambodian cooking right now. It's just kind of a few chef being out there. So I think that would be amazing. Is her name Night?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was like pretty very successful chef that it's been popping up everywhere. About
Oh,
she's kind of a very first person to do like Cambodian cookings,
oh,
and
interesting. Yeah,
and it's like get the words out to people. I mean, so many people doing that, but not a lot of people to kind of like try to get all the cultures and rules and spread the word out and let people learn about more. Yeah.
yeah. All right, that is interesting. Well, hey, Intu-On, thank you so much for joining us for coffee this morning. I know that you're in the kitchen right now, and I'm sure you have to get back to work. So I really appreciate the time that you've taken to tell us a little bit about you and your course and how you move in the cooking world. So thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
If you like this episode, don't miss an episode by becoming a member. We're waiting for you each week with more guests. We're on all podcast platforms. Just search for Coffee with Scoolinary. We're also waiting for you at our website and on our social networks, where you can get to know all our courses and teachers.